Who wants to try Lunchly?
Nah, this shit dead ass busting right now.
It's good.
Man, I was so hungry. This is good. It actually is so good.
It's really good.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I know I'm a little late to talking about the whole Lunchly debacle, and I almost didn't make a video about it. Oh, you mean to tell me a YouTuber made a shitty product? Yeah, fork found in kitchen, like that's not. But as time went on, I realized that Lunchly became way more than just a bad product rollout, because it also caused the crash out and ego death of all three people involved in making it. But to understand how that happened, I think we need to start from the beginning. So in 2005, three former PayPal employees created YouTube.com, and then everything got worse. I'm just joking. I love it here. This all started with the announcement of Lunchly, which was supposed to be a snack kit to rival the undisputed champions over at Lunchables. And I'm not saying that to be biased or anything, they became synonymous with the brand. Like when you were a kid, you didn't ask your mom if you could have a Lunchmakers, even though if you were like me, that's what was in the fridge because we were too poor to afford Lunchables. Oh, and you definitely weren't asking for the Hillshire snacks. You know, this looks good to me now as an adult with the diet of a muskrat, but I don't think any kids would have wanted this. What is this? These colors aren't fun at all. Why is this pepperoni uncured? I don't want to get sick too. But Lunchly was ready to compete with three tricks up its sleeve. KSI, Logan Paul, and three unproblematic, wholesome, you know, just pure of heart YouTubers that have already proven they can sell anything with their faces on it. Like there's a reason Prime outsold Gatorade and Jimmy can keep selling those shitty chocolate bars. Okay, well I can't say that because I never actually tried these Feastables, but I did try them when they were Mr. Beast bars, and dude, no exaggeration, that shit was... And again, I'm not saying that to be biased. I'm not joking. If my favorite YouTubers made chocolate that tasted like that, I would never watch them again. So if anybody was equipped to dethrone Lunchables, it was going to be these three queens coming together to maximize their joint slay. And so far, there's not really anything that you wouldn't have seen from a YouTuber before. But then I saw the first promotional video for Lunchly, and the alarms were blaring. I won't harp on it for too long because everybody's probably seen it by now. I have to mention like how much they don't look like they want to be there.
Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch bar.
Whoa.
Feastables crunch
Yeah!
I understand, like, not every business venture you take is going to be, like, your life's passion or anything. Sometimes you're going to do, like, a brand deal or make a product because you got to keep the mansion lights on somehow, right? But I'm not convinced they even care a little bit about making snacks healthier for kids. And here in a little bit, we're going to find out they actually don't, but we'll get to that, I promise. I feel like talking about it could have been just, like, a little bit more fun. You don't have to worry about Lunchly. In fact, it can be enjoyed by the entire family. You can enjoy your pizza in the boxing ring after you have a match. You can snack on that Feastables bar while you're in a glass box surrounded by 100 other people, and wash it down with a Prime while you're walking through a forest in Japan. And I don't really have anything to say about it, but I'm gonna show it, obviously.
I like my cheese drippy, bro.
I like my cheese drippy, bro. I like my cheese drippy, bro. I like my cheese drippy, bro. I like my cheese drippy, bro. I like my cheese drippy, bro.
That's the government mandated meme. I wasn't allowed to make the video if I didn't put that in there. So like I said, Lunchly was claiming to be like a healthier alternative to Lunchables, and you probably would think that it is since it's less calories and everything, but it was soon discovered that wasn't actually the case. So anybody that has kids, which unfortunately now includes Logan Paul, you should know that kids do actually need a lot of calories as they're growing, and that goes hand in hand with staying active. And that's not to say that kids can just eat junk food whenever they want, but as long as they're eating their meals and like getting enough activity in between, I don't think a Lunchable is gonna like kill them or anything. There was even a doctor who found that Lunchlys didn't have enough calories for kids per meal, while still having more added sugars and fats than they should be having per meal. But who cares about that as long as you get to wash it down with a healthy bottle of Prime hydration, right? Which also faced a lawsuit earlier this year alleging that they found forever chemicals in one of the flavors and only got dismissed because of lack of evidence or injury. Great. So far, that's a snack kit with food that isn't any better for you than the competition. Made by three people who don't really have to care about what they're selling because kids will ask their parents to buy it for them as long as their names are on it. Mom, what is this? It's your Lunchable. It's the same one I've always bought for you. Well, I told you I didn't like them anymore. These aren't the ones that Mr. Beast made. Logan Paul hates them, so now I hate them too. And as far as I could tell, they weren't making any statements about these initial complaints, and I'm guessing they were just going to let the product speak for itself, which now we know why the product wouldn't have been able to speak for itself, but like I said, we'll get to that. There was a flurry of tweets from people that disapproved of the Lunchly project, and there was one that rose above all the others and basically did the Lord's work. So there was one tweet by Dan TDM, who a lot of people consider one of the OG gaming YouTubers, which asked the question, what happened to YouTubers, man? Which No lie, we should have been asking that for a long fucking time now. Dan's tweet was basically critiquing how this seemed to be more about making money than about the actual health of kids, and told them to do better, which I personally think is pretty valid. Like, Dan wasn't being mean or like scathing about it, just offering constructive criticism. And he definitely wasn't the only person saying this, but for some reason this was the one that like opened the floodgates. Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI all felt the need to defend Lunchly on their own personal accounts and try to like clap back at him. Mr. Beast was pretty tame because he was just reiterating the selling points of Lunchly, because I'm convinced at this point he can only speak and like think in branding and content. This is a little off topic, but I heard someone mention like Mr. Beast having a girlfriend, and they were like, what does he talk about? What does he do when he's like not on camera? And I'm embarrassed to admit how long I was thinking about that. Hey Jimmy, I was thinking for dinner tonight, there's a new restaurant that opened up around the corner. It sounded really good, and I thought maybe we could go. Sure, but why stop there? Why not go to every single one in the entire country? After that, we can cure blindness. Yeah, we did that last week, Jimmy. Okay, you know what? How about we just stay in? We can just cook a meal at home together. Does that sound nice? Well, I hope you have enough for me and 100 other people that are staying in these glass boxes for a chance to win $100,000. You know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm gonna listen to some music, try to, you know, make some sense of all of this, all right? Suit yourself. Just make sure you use Raycon's everyday earbuds. It's also very interesting that he had the time to address this, but didn't talk about the lawsuit that his Amazon show is facing right now, or the accusations that you're altering your videos' narratives to cut people out. But you can say something when people have valid criticisms of your business, because those valid criticisms are going to mess with you making more money. I mean, giving a quality product for your fans, right? Now, up next is fellow Ohioan Logan Paul, who at least didn't sound like he was doing an ad read, so I'll give him that. I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. Wait, do I still have those? I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our whole lives creating content and building our brands. Now, we want to build businesses. You don't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we make a better version, you're upset? Then don't eat it. Not to defend the corporation that let their foods allegedly contain lead or anything. Alleged? Sorry. But Logan, your drink also has accusations of containing stuff in it that it shouldn't have. So I don't really see you having any room to talk personally. I'm also not sure why you would expect Dan TDM, a Minecraft YouTuber, to make a statement about Kraft Heinz. Dan TDM, what's your stance on all the frozen waffles having listeria in them? Oh, nothing? I knew you didn't care. And then while he was like being defensive about his brand and whatnot, he got into a Twitter fight with another Minecraft YouTuber, Tommy in it, whose initial tweet was criticizing Logan for placing an ad for Prime in the middle of talking about an ongoing genocide. And Logan's clapback was leaking old messages from Tommy, like asking him for advice and just being a nice person. Are you stupid? That's a great rebuttal, Logan. Show everyone that he was nice to you and you weren't nice back. That'll really show him. If the same week I had a daughter, I also lost a beef with Tommy in it, I would kill myself. Oh yeah, amidst all of this, Logan Paul and his fiance had a child. All I can picture that is like his fiance actively in labor, like about to give birth to the child. And he's just in the corner, like furiously typing on his phone because he got mocked by 2 Minecraft YouTubers. And he's also probably mad because the doctor told him, no, you're not allowed to put Prime hydration into a newborn baby's bottle. Babies can't have Prime until they're at least 2 weeks old. Everyone knows that. And he also never addresses Tommy's original issue with him, which should probably be a given because we already know how Logan feels about monetizing dead bodies. Now this leads to my favorite crash out, which came from KSI. Now his first attempt was to criticize Dan TDM for his merch collabs, which first of all, these are normal things you would release for merch, right? Like these are pretty normal things you would buy because you like that YouTuber and you want something to like put up on your wall or like on a shelf to remember them by. Like I'd say that's pretty different from a subpar Lunchables ripoff, but I digress. And even if it was the same thing, KSI has also collabed with Tube Heroes and U2s. So I don't know what you were trying to prove with that. Is there a law that like once you get famous, they just like shut your brain off and you're not allowed to like know how to take accountability ever again? Is that what I have to look forward to if my channel ever takes off? Because I don't want to be that. Like I don't want to be like any of these people at all. As a lot of people were making that same point, KSI scoured Dan's like entire internet presence, and he tried to criticize Dan for a brand deal with a snack crate company from 9 years ago, thinking a brand deal would be the same as co-creating a company, and that a snack crate selling candy would be the same as claiming something's healthier when it's not. And you know, any self-respecting person after swinging and missing twice would have just stopped. But KSI kept like tweeting about it, made a video about it, tweeted Dan asking him to come on the podcast so they could like talk about it, and even used all of this to promote his really shitty song that I know you've heard by now. And here's the thing, I could have made an entire video just about the reactions people had to Thick of It. I probably can't even play it without getting copyright claimed, but you've probably heard someone talk shit about it. Or you saw Conor McGregor say he was going to come out of retirement to fight KSI because he hated the song that much. Or maybe you saw Opera GX say they would make a feature to mute the song if it ever plays in their browser. Or this video of a cat turning the song off that actually made him lose his fucking mind.
This is, you're literally doing this. You're literally making your cat attack the camera. You're literally doing this. You've literally made the cat pause the song. You've literally...
I wonder if drinking all that Prime and ingesting all those forever chemicals just like altered his brain. And I think what makes it even funnier is that it's not even like the worst song ever made, you know? Like, it definitely sounds like something they would play at a middle school dance while the kids are like sliding across the gym floor. But I've still heard worse. But KSI was so torn up and tired of people making fun of his song that he threatened to quit music. Promise? Which I find really rich that you're wanting us to move on when you're still fucking tweeting about Dan TDM. I'm not kidding you, he tweeted something about Dan before I started filming this video today. And here I thought I was gonna be late to talking about this whole situation, but it's still going on. He won't let it go. And I think my favorite part about it is Dan has not said a single thing about any of these goobers. Like, his tweets have mostly just pertained to his personal life, his kids, you know, playing Minecraft and stuff. Like, Dan is literally living his best life and KSI is in the corner like seething, unable to accept that.
Fried chicken biscuit.
Hey bitch, what's up,
very
bitch?
simple.
Suck my dick, bitch.
It's a biscuit,
Let me talk
and
to you.
hopefully it'll be simply delicious.
So when all three faces of your brand can't win a one-sided internet beef, you've got to course correct a little bit. And what better way to get people to like your product than by having a bunch of influencers try it and love it? Because the product is actually good and not them overindulging to try and stay on Mr. Beast's good side.
I like my cheese drippy, bro. I like my cheese drippy, bro. That's delicious. Yeah, that's Riz approved.
Dude, they're Riz approved. Also, I think the Hawk Tuah girl liked it, or did she just want to say the meme? I don't know. They've almost got me, but, you know, I'm not quite convinced yet. Maybe if there was some kid out there in a Spider-Man costume that tried it and loved it, you know, I would be more willing to try it. But I'm not sure if that would ever happen.
3, 2, 1. Give it an honest view, Tiny.
All right, you crazy SOBs. I'll be back. I gotta go to Kroger. I can't explain it, but I just have this sudden urge to sit down with my Lunchly, turn on the Hawk Tuah Girls podcast, and then when it's over, listen to Thick of It by KSI. Oh, see? Yeah, like, that's perfect. I don't see how anyone can ruin this meme. What are you doing, Jimmy? You know, at one point, everyone thought you were actually a philanthropist, and all the good deeds you were doing were out of kindness and not just to monetize and make more money. But now look at you. Look at all three of you, actually. You're all throwing fits and getting defensive over sound criticisms of a shitty product rollout, and a good majority of the views I was seeing were actually being honest and saying that this was, like, just the same as a Lunchable. But out of all of these reviews, there was one that was the final nail in the coffin. Dan TDM placed the nail there, and then this person nailed it in and then like shoved the coffin off the side of a cliff. So this review came from Rosanna Pansino. She's a cooking YouTuber who had already spoken out against Mr. Beast's team for allegedly cutting her out of a video and was pretty vocally against Lunchly from the very start. She decided to do her own review to give her own opinion on Lunchly, which she was unable to do because...
Yeah.
I think how we do the first, is that the
These are molded. They're supposed to be good. It says used by December 8th, 2024. And today's date is October 16th. So these are supposed to be good for like another 2 months. This is molded. Like that's That's mold.
No, Rosanna, you don't understand. The cheese is supposed to be green. It's not mold. It's supposed to be green and smell bad. Like the kid, it's fun for the kids, right? And to anybody that thought Rosanna might have been making this up, there were reports of mold being found in them before and after her video. There was even a streamer trying to disprove this and then ended up finding mold in the Lunchly that they bought. Now, surely this would prompt a statement, right? Like, I'm sure not every kid that bought this knew how to look for moldy cheese and would have eaten it anyways. Like, they could have said anything to at least acknowledge that they fucked up and need to, like, take this back to the drawing board. And as shocked as I was, for once, they finally did the responsible thing, and they didn't fucking do anything. Of course they didn't. Why would they? The window for good business ethics has already been closed, so that's not gonna happen. The most they did was have someone from Mr. Beast's team come forward and say to consider the source, implying that all these people were planting mold in an unopened package. Yeah, what are the odds from like all the FDA complaints, all the people returning them and getting refunds at stores? But don't listen to any of that, okay? Just listen to me. Listen to Mr. Beast. No, eat the mold. It's better for you than the Lunchable. Trust me. Oh, and we also got Logan and KSI in a podcast clip making jokes about it.
Yeah, like I like my cheese moldy, bro.
Yo. Dude, you remember when we sold poison to kids? They gave us their money and we sold them literal garbage that could have been harmful to their health. And all we have to do is join in on the meme without taking any responsibility for it. And I'd say probably the most damning piece of evidence that the mold was real is that the Lunchlys are being discontinued now. So fun fact, for my video, I was going to include a taste test at the end of this, just, you know, for funsies. But every Kroger I tried to go to within driving distance already had them out of stock. And a part of me wonders if this is because they finally learned their lesson, you know, they pulled it quietly to just accept defeat. Well, I was wrong. If I had $1 for every video I filmed wearing a camo shirt that I had to refilm to add context later, I would now have $2, which still isn't enough to buy me a Lunchly. I was actually waiting a while to make this video until it kind of had a natural conclusion, if that makes any sense. I'd kind of assumed everything with Rosanna and like it getting allegedly recalled would be the end of the story, but of course Logan Paul had to open his mouth some more because we've not heard him say enough words in life, apparently. So Logan posts a video basically debunking the claims that Lunchly got recalled and discontinued, which normally I'd say whatever, you know, you don't want to address the moldy cheese, but you want to defend your right to sell the moldy cheese, like, you do you. But in the process of debunking it, he also tracked down a store that had this sign up saying that it was recalled, and even went as far as sending a brand rep there to like confront the person who put the sign up, and then Logan proceeded to mock him.
That was like kind of rumorized, I guess, through around here, but we had seen a posting about that, but I was the one who had written that, but since we got Lunchly back, it's been taken down. Hater or dumbass? I don't know, maybe both.
Which already you just look like an asshole and a weirdo tracking down one store that had a sign up, but the employee in question ended up doing an interview with Rosanna, and he reveals that the Lunchly rep was not very friendly and was like borderline harassing him. And he clarifies he put the sign up because there's a lot of stuff being discontinued and recalled right now because of listeria and E. coli and all that other fun stuff. So he mistakenly thought the Lunchly was part of that because they didn't have any, so he put that sign up with his manager's approval. Also, the sign was down before the Lunchly rep ever even got there, so he was just there to like bug him about a sign ever being up in the first place, which is really fucking weird. He also got put on unpaid leave after this entire encounter happened because, you know, he got doxxed essentially. So just to recap all of that, Logan doxxed, harassed, and potentially cost somebody their job, all because he thought they were making fun of his shitty Lunchables. He sort of addresses the mold in this video.
Fact is, the USDA inspects every finished food lot and approves it before even leaving our facility. And yes, it's possible that issues happen in transit, like a seal breaking or at the store level with rough handling. But just like any produce you buy, problems can arise, and our retail partners are great. They'll offer a full refund.
Because clearly none of them can ever do any wrong because they've never done anything wrong, right?
Attention-hungry little clout goblin who has made it her entire identity to speak negatively on all things Mr. Beast. We're gonna keep innovating and improving our product as we attempt to disrupt this archaic industry that's been run by the same corporate giants for the past 120 years. It is a new era and the ops are gonna have to try harder.
I find it funny Logan considers the ops anybody that has valid criticisms of his stupid company and his stupid products and his stupid self. And the fact that he's calling Rosanna a clout goblin just because like she's trying to expose Mr. Beast for being shitty behind the scenes, like altering narratives and videos, never reimbursing charities that helped him pay for other videos in the past, or if you've seen any of the shit in the Mr. Beast group chats that have been coming out, or anything about the alleged insider trading and crypto scams to like keep them rich. Like, not to glaze or anything, but Rosanna's just using using her platform to do the right thing, which is more than I think the three of you can ever say about yourselves. I don't think I've mentioned KSI in this yet, have I? Well, he's still really annoying, but you didn't need an editor's note to tell you that. I think what really gets to me about it is these three are trying to like manipulate everyone into thinking they're like the underdogs in this story. I don't think they realize they're the rich people. Like they're not the good guys here. Like at the end of the day, this was just a product to make you more money, and you had some blunders. But instead of addressing them in a professional way, it turned all three of you into clout goblins. Like the three of you were joking and making memes about it, or using it to promote your song that, let's be honest, wouldn't be anywhere near the billboards without this negative press. I could say that KSI's been a clout goblin ever since he started working with Logan, but I digress. I just wanted to clarify I was wrong. Lunchly's aren't being discontinued, probably for better and worse. But let's let Zach close it out. But hey, I'm sure they were at least better than lunch makers, am I right? This whole debacle that happened was genuinely so crazy to see in real time. There were so many moments that felt like they were picking like the wrong dialogue option in a Telltale game. Like from the start, they could have made statements to like calm everybody's initial fears, could have apologized for the mold, or really done anything to like take some form of accountability. All they did was get super defensive. They convinced other influencers to just glaze the fuck out of it, acting like middle schoolers and just making shitty memes about it. And I think it was just further proof that their egos were so inflated they couldn't handle any criticism, even when it was at the expense of people's health. And if that's the case, those are people you should absolutely never be buying any products from, ever. Like there's so many chocolates that are a billion times better than Feastables, I promise you. And I don't want to say the lesson of this video is like never trust the people you look up to, because that's just like really fucking bleak. They'll release like a piece of merch, whether it's clothes or like a figurine or like a poster or anything like that. And obviously you want to support them financially and have like something to always remember them by. And even if they do food ventures, sometimes it's because they have a genuine passion for it. But it's important to try and discern who's actually releasing something that they give a shit about, and who's okay with releasing garbage just to make money off of fans that aren't gonna know any better. And if you want to hear more about things like this, then you can join my Patreon and pay me. I'm kidding, I don't have a Patreon yet. I don't know if I will. We're working that out. All right, that's gonna be everything from me. I'm honestly craving a Lunchable after talking about it so much, so I might go get one. So thank you all so much for watching the video today. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below. If any of you have your own experiences trying Lunchly, I would love to read about it if you want to comment that as well. And you can also hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. It would help the channel out and just means the world to me. Plus, it'll help me release my own snack kit, which is just gonna be a slab of meat and a stick of butter. All the nutrients that kids are gonna need. And I'll also put Mr. Beast's face on it, so the kids will buy it. So thanks again for watching. Stay safe out there, especially if you ate the Lunchlys, and I'll see you next time. Later.
In the house for a very long time. Never I cease, I get better like wine. Soul searching, found me online. No end of my reach, got a hand on the skies. Stop being so emotional, what you smoking on? Last time I open up, you can't roll with us. If you want peace, go and throw up the sign.
I don't know if you can even see the nose ring or not, but